So in 2018, I was working as a data scientist at a Spanish unicorn, and I got really fed up with the lack of diversity in my field. Loved data science, and I was worried, legitimately, that the bro culture would kill that love. So I did what most nerds do when they have a problem. I went into troubleshooting mode and started Googling shit. What I found, the first thing, was that the problem that I was experiencing was not unique to me. That in fact, the gender disparity in tech is a chronic problem worldwide, right? The second thing I learned, and this is the good news, was that the gender disparity in tech was not just a problem for women who have been left out of lucrative, intellectually stimulating jobs, but it's a problem for many. It's a problem for companies who are trying to diversify their engineering teams and cannot find diverse tech talent. It's a problem for NGOs, like the United Nations. They've incorporated these issues into their SDGs. And it's a problem for governments. So the EU Commission is scoring member states on how well they're doing on their DE&I initiatives. They see it as a big fiscal loss. So we're all aligned here that we want to diversify tech. The question then was, how do we do it? Well, code schools have been around starting in the San Francisco Bay Area since 2010 as a solution to support the needed talent pipeline for a booming industry. We have now over a decade of statistics that show this educational model is a high impact one for churning out tech talent. The problem with code schools, however, is that 99% of them are founded by men. They appeal to men. So if you look at their student demographics, they're merely replicating the gender disparity that we already see in tech. Now, it's true that they're doing better than traditional computer science programs, which hover around 18%, but I'm pretty sure we can do better than that. And in fact, we need to do better than that if we're serious about reaching gender parity in tech. Our solution was CodeUp. We took the high-impact educational model of boot camps and merged that with our values and our mission to diversify tech. So what that meant was that we were creating boot camps to really transform the lives of women, trans, and non-binary people, starting first in Barcelona in 2018. Now, I'm really proud of the community that we've cultivated since then. We have an active community of over 21,000 women, trans, non-binary people from quite literally every continent of the world. Our courses are being taught in Spanish, Catalan, English, and Portuguese right now. And over the 50 boot camps that we've ran, we've transformed the lives of hundreds of women. There's a lot of reasons why our students come to us to transition into tech. What's 100% sure is that ain't none of them complaining about landing a sweet job at a cool tech company in which they are making, for the first time, a proper salary. The World Economic Forum recently came out with a report in 2022 that said women will not reach economic parity for another 151 years. I have no doubt that if we're getting more women into tech, that we can close that gap sooner. And CodeUp has no problem with women who are interested in accumulating wealth. We support that. What's also true, and this was a flaw with the solution that we created, was that boot camps traditionally have a B2C model. It's costly for women. And what's not cool is that never at one point did I attribute the gender disparity problem to women. No, so why should they bear the brunt of the cost? And so this is something that we aim to flip, and we did it last year. We started working with local and national governments who picked up the bill and provided fully subsidized training for our students. And we worked with game-changing companies like Bumble, who created what our students call a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Bumble saw that the gender disparity in tech is a social problem, but they also acknowledged that that problem exists internally. So what did they do? The social innovation team in Austin, Texas, started building a case. They say you need to create a village, right, to do big things and to create difference. And that's exactly what they did. The social innovation team, with the engineering team, with the L&D team, with H&R, garnered the support of the leadership team to get them to invest in a game-changing program. And so that's exactly what we did last year. We launched Bumble Tech Academy program, which was a 6-month junior engineering training program in which CodeUp would recruit, source their talent, train them, so that they would be the future junior Android developers for Bumble. This is what we did last year. 100% of those students are women, trans, and non-binary. 100% of those students received a salary day one of the boot camp. The boot camp was paid for. Now, we know at CodeOp, 41% of the people who want to do our programs cannot due to financial constraints. No? And what was so great about Bumble Tech Academy program was that they eradicated that issue. One of the main objectives of the Bumble Tech Academy program was to dispel the talent pipeline myth. What we demonstrated was actually, it was a problem of accessibility. In the last year, our work with Bumble has been really powerful, and one of the main reasons of that is that we had total value alignment. We did work together that really exemplified the ways in which CodeOp wants to transform and drive tech. What do I mean by that? I mean that there's room for community and social values in tech. I mean that all the people on the sidelines of tech, the artists, the performers, the activists, they play a more prominent role in tech. So to summarize, what I'm saying here is that we took the traditional boot camp model and we made it work better for women, trans, and non-binary people. It's no longer just about transformational educational experiences, it's about companies transforming their L&D budgets to create a new radical recruiting strategy that sends a very strong brand message. Now, I've been talking about gender parity, and I want to just be really clear of what I mean by that. In 2021, we know there were about 24 million developers, 8% of whom were women. If we want to reach gender parity, and we continue doing exactly what we've been doing to date, it'll mean we need to train an additional 19 million developers. Where are they going to come from? No? So gender parity, I also say, I want to be a realist here, might not be what moves the people around you on your teams, on your leadership team. What's also true, and you've already heard it today, is that there's a big ROI on D&I. And if you need resources to that, just write me and we can share them with you. What's also true, I had a really great conversation with a VP of Global Human Resources in the States. And it was in her opinion that doing DE&I is no longer a question. No, it's mandatory. And it's mandatory in the sense that there are laws being passed, there are quotas, and that doesn't even take into account all the incredible talent that you never meet because they never apply to your company because they care about DE&I. And they go to your team page and they don't see different people. And they go to LinkedIn and they're talking to the 2 women on your engineering team about the DE&I policies, and they realize it's not a cultural fit. So there's ROI, and then there's unaccounted for loss, no? And so what I'm saying here is that it is important to address this radically, to put money behind it, because the people that you want on your team, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, the people you want on your team are the people that care about these issues and the people that value difference. So I will step off my soapbox now. Thanks for listening.